India's glittering marriage culture obscures an uncomfortable truth. These striking jewels and colours capture the glamour of weddings here, where preparations are as big as the main event.
There were like 4 or 5 functions in my wedding, and now it's my brother's wedding. I cannot repeat my outfits.
But for many families, the joy and excitement of a wedding is marred by the practice of dowry. A dowry is a payment in gifts or money from the bride's family to the groom's. The giving or taking of dowry has been a criminal offence for 60 years. In many instances, it becomes a form of extortion and can lead to domestic abuse. Across the country, hundreds of thousands of women face harassment linked to this practice. Dowry-related suicides increased by nearly 10% between 2015 and 2020 and are dealt with under a law titled Dowry Deaths. Behind the data, distraught families are left to sift through their grief. We travelled to Ramnagar, a small village in the northeastern state of Bihar, where one young woman, Lakshmi, recently had an arranged marriage. The whole community watches on as the family discuss the serious allegations against their son-in-law and his family.
मतलब शादी भेले तो इतने मतलब जे है छे मतलब टॉर्चर ओकरा स्टार्ट हो गेले रहे मतलब मारपीट करे रहे ओकर साथ ओकर से मांग रहे 5 लाख रुपया जे कि उ सब पहले हमरा बतेले नहीं रहे उ बाद में पैसा के मांग करे रहे मतलब उतना पैसा के मैटर रहे ठीक ना टॉर्चर जे है ना उतना पैसा के मैटर रहे.
How did you hear about what happened to your sister?
मतलब बात भेले शाम के टाइम में ठीक तो बात भेले हमरा से भेले मतलब सब ठीक छे फिर मतलब 10-15 मिनट के बाद आवे छी कि हम नया के ओकरा मतलब गेली तो पड़ोसी में कहै छी कि राखी तो मम्मी बजाबै छै तो हम तभी नहीं थे बोले चल तो मम्मी क्या बजाबै छै तो गेली तो हमरा कहै छी कि मतलब हाथे भात रख के राखी गे मतलब चुनमुन फांसी लटका लेलको मतलब घर के नाम चुनमुन कहे रहे तो हम कहली कि ठीक छे ना तो कहै ना उ मर गेलो
अपन खुशी से शादी क्या ले छै बाद में मारपीट करे छै तो ठीक नहीं ने छै दहेज.
What has life been like for you?
संभाल रहलिए अपने जहाँ तक शरीर में सांस से चल रहले है नहीं जिंदे छिए नहीं मरले छिए बीच बीच में पड़ल छिए अपन इहो से कष्ट है छै बेटी के लोग शादी किया करे छै बेटी खुश रहते जे दामाद छै वो छै जेल में बेटी चल गेले तो बुझियो जे ओ कोना रहे छै ओ माँ.
Anju's son-in-law is in jail, and the investigation into his treatment of his wife continues. The family started a Justice for Lakshmi campaign, and there are many more on social media. Beyond deaths, cases of dowry abuse are extremely high. Of all recorded crimes against women in 2020, 30% were legally designated under cruelty by husbands or by relatives of the husband. The government is attempting to crack down on these crimes by employing dowry prohibition officers who mediate disputes and raise awareness in communities. We're taken to a family where the case has supposedly been settled by Officer Manoj Kumar. Do you feel it's been resolved?
Yes, I have resolved the problem of that family.
But there seems to be a miscommunication, and it soon becomes clear that this dispute is ongoing.
शादी होने के बाद वह दहेज के चलते अभी रुसा हुआ है, बिगड़ा हुआ है कि हमको दहेज दीजिए, ये हमको गाड़ी घोड़ा दीजिए, जिसके चलते यह बच्ची का अभी दुर्दशा हो रही है.
Your husband has said that he doesn't want to be in a relationship with you if he doesn't get the money from your father. How does that make you feel?
गाली शब्द कहै छै तोरा से हम नहीं रखबो नहीं बात करबो नहीं ला जेबो तो अपना पापा के दूसरा शादी कर देलो भी होते ले सके ले जा सके छै तो ओते हम रहे के लिए तैयार छी.
Does it bother you that he says this to your daughter?
हो सकता है सर, हत्या भी कर सकता है वो. इसके लिए पहले हम सोचते हैं कि मतलब कानून में दर्शा दें. कुछ भी कर सकता है सर वो।
These issues aren't confined to rural parts of the country. In 2020, Delhi recorded the highest number of dowry suicides of any city in India. It's an issue that's been at the heart of the country's feminist movement for decades. This is Satyarani Chadha. In 1979, her daughter was found with 100% body burns at her husband's family home. Many felt the police dismissed the complaint of dowry abuse. It sparked protests, seminars and rallies all over the country.
We were protesting the killing.
82-year-old Gowri Chaudhary has witnessed and advanced this fight for women's rights.
The practice of giving and taking dowry, in spite of having a prohibition act, the act has never really been implemented properly. Police inaction and misuse of the laws, both by the lawyers, police, courts, I think is a major reason why it has not been implemented. You will rarely find a girl or a boy say that we have married and not given or taken dowry.
Do you think the laws that are in place at the moment are effective?
Crimes against women still continue to be major issue which is not reported. Whatever crime bureau figures that you've seen, I don't think represent even 10% of the reality.
The crime figures are stark. Thousands of dowry death cases have been disposed of mid-investigation by the police. Nomita Roy says part of the problem for women seeking justice is the broadness of dowry laws, which she claims can be exploited by people desperate for a divorce.
We don't have this irreversible breakdown of marriage as a ground for divorce. So either you have to come under the aspect of, cruelty, desertion, adultery. These are the few grounds under which you can come.
But many women are raising their voices successfully to challenge age-old social norms. This is a panchayat. It means village council, like a small court, where the pressure of community judgment holds enormous weight.
It's so moving to witness this. We've just come from the roadside into this low-income settlement, and you just would never expect to see a group of women here singing about sisterhood, singing about empowerment, singing about not taking abuse. And in the middle of it all, there is a man here absorbing all of this messaging in the hope that he'll change and there'll be a difference.
Mazahar tells us she faced dowry abuse from her husband and was locked in a cupboard by his family.
शादी के मैं काफ़ी टाइम पहले सोच रही थी, फिर मैं कहा नहीं, थोड़ा बहुत तो हर घर में होता है, इतना तो बर्दाश्त कर लेते हैं, ये सोच के मैं चुप रही. लेकिन जब 2 साल के बाद जब हद हो गई, मुझे लगा कि अब मुझसे नहीं होगा बर्दाश्त.
Mazahar says she's since left her marriage and sought a divorce with the help of the panchayat. Nisha's tale of abuse and escape is similar.
हिम्मत मिली इन लोगों से बात सुनी, मतलब कि लगा कि हाँ मैं अपनी लाइफ निर्णय ले सकती हूँ, खुल के जी सकती हूँ, इसलिए.
Dowry is a deeply entrenched social custom that many say the criminal justice system alone cannot tackle. It's clear from meeting women like Mazahar, Nisha and Gowri that though this is an everyday practice, it's not one that most people are willing to accept. Women's rights in India have long been evolving, and with each passing day, new generations join the fight.